In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can set up a 100% automated AI lead generating machine that every day in, day out, on autopilot will go out and find leads, put them into a Google Drive spreadsheet with custom email messages for each contact based off of their social media profile information, custom messaging for each contact generated with the power of AI, automatically send out the email that can also include any products or services you sell, and then it will update the Google Drive spreadsheet to let you know the email has been sent. Best of all, this entire process is completely free. We're going to use a free make.com account. I've already built out the automations for you, so upload them to make.com and configure a few options like what kind of leads you want to generate, what social network you want to generate them from, and you can even specify things like what city you want to generate these leads from. So if you want to create a free lead generating machine, this video tutorial is for you. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is go to aipost.app, and we're going to want to create a free account. We can do that by clicking on the free account button. We'll enter in the requested information, click submit and continue. We get a confirmation message, and we've got two different options here. One, we can create a website, and then also we can get an API key. For the purposes of this tutorial, we're just going to be getting an API key. So we'll click on create API key. We'll give it a friendly name. Click generate key, and so we've got our API username and API key that we're going to need. Next thing I'm going to do is hover over my account, and I'm going to click on automation templates. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says outreach cold emails, and we've got a few different links. The first one's going to be the lead spreadsheet where we're going to be putting all of the leads into automatically. The next one is going to be the leads automation where it goes out and gets all the leads and then puts it into the spreadsheet. And then the third one you can choose. If you're using an Outlook email address, you're going to want this one. If you're using a Gmail address, you're going to want this one. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to be using an Outlook email address. I'm even going to show you how to set up a free Outlook email address that you can use just specifically for emailing leads. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the lead spreadsheet, and that's going to open up a template. What I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to make a copy of this spreadsheet to my own Google Drive folder. So you're just going to want to be signed in to Google Drive with your username. Click make a copy. And because we are sending this out to real estate companies to sell a website that we created through aipost.app, which will make more sense here in a second, I'm just going to label the spreadsheet real estate lead contacts, and we'll get rid of template. And then click make a copy, and that's going to open up our copy of this spreadsheet. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to download the template that we're going to be using for make.com. If you click on the template, it's going to open the file. This is just a JSON file that we're going to be uploading to make.com. Up here in the upper right hand corner, you can click on download, and you can save that to your computer. You can do the same one for either the Outlook or the Gmail version of this automation. So now let's talk about the email address real quickly. For this website that we're selling, we purchased the domain name propertyinfo.blog. You can purchase a domain name. You don't have to have a website. You can purchase a domain name for as little as $10. And then you can use an email address. For sending out these cold emails, it may be preferable to use a separate email address than you use for the rest of your business. So we're going to click on email, and we see here create a professional email address for your domain. And up here we see try email for free for 30 days and upgrade to keep it. So we're going to get this 30-day free trial, click learn more, and we'll click continue, and that's going to start setting up our email address for us. So while we're waiting for that to set up, let's take a look at make.com. If you're not familiar with make.com, it is a platform that allows you to automate a lot of different things. In this case, what we are going to be automating is the retrieving of leads, putting those leads into our Google spreadsheet, and then automatically sending out emails. So we're going to click on Get Started for Free, and we're going to sign up with our Gmail address, input the requested information, click sign up for free. There's a few questions that they'll ask you to answer, and we are now in our dashboard for make.com. We're going to click on create a new scenario. Scenarios are what they call the actual automations, and down here at the very bottom there's going to be 3 dots where it says more, and we're going to click on that, and we're going to click import blueprint. And what we're going to want to do is upload the file that we downloaded. The first one we're going to upload is the Get Leads automation file. Click Save, and now we have our pre-configured automation. So let me explain what's happening. This is a page counter. So every single time that this automation runs, it's going to increment the page count of the leads that we are retrieving. So the first run will be page 1, second run will be page 2, and the page number is going to show up in this column right here. Next is our API request. That is going to make a request to the AI post.app API to get the lead. This is going to iterate through each one of the leads. This is going to check for duplicates in our spreadsheet so that we're not emailing the same lead twice. And then this is going to actually update the spreadsheet. So we need to set a couple of things up. The first one is going to be the API request. The first thing that you're going to want to do is click on this create a keychain button, and we can really just call this anything. And then we can come back over here to our API keys, enter in our API key, and then we're going to want to select in the query string, and then we can just label this API, click create. So most of the information is going to be already configured. In this field right here, we're going to need to input our API key and our API username. So we're going to come back over to this page right here, and we're going to get our API key, and we're going to replace the bracketed API key text. And then we're also going to need our API username. This information can stay the same. For the search term, this is what kind of contact you're going to be searching for. So since we are selling a real estate blog, we are going to input real estate agent into this field. For the website, it's pre-configured as Instagram. However, you can use Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter or X, and Pinterest. We're also going to use this information in the email that we send out. For the address type, that's going to be what kind of email address we're looking for. So if we're looking for Outlook.com email addresses, we put Outlook.com. If we're looking for Gmail addresses, put Gmail.com. If you're looking for any email address, just leave this field blank. And just to be clear, the Outlook.com or Gmail.com, that is not dependent on what kind of email address you are using to send out these emails. That is what kind of email address you're going to be looking for as far as contacts are concerned. We're going to start out with Outlook.com, and you can come back and change this information at any time. The message length, that is going to be how long you want the custom message to be for each email. Utilizing AI, there's going to be a custom email message formatted for every single individual based off of their profile information, the number of followers they have, and other data that is pulled from that contact. We'll look at that here in a second, but this is how many words you want that custom message to be. The page, this is pre-configured with this page count right here, which we just talked about, so you can leave that as is. And then for the location, if you're looking for local contacts like Tampa, Florida, you can input Tampa or Tampa, Florida, whatever you want, and it will search for contacts in that geographical location. And then finally, for the message prompt, if you want to use a custom prompt to format the message that is created with AI based off of the user information, you can put that prompt in here. An example might be create a customized message that is very positive about this individual and thanks them for the content they're putting out on social media. You don't have to do this. You can leave this blank, and we'll see in a second the kind of message that is produced by just leaving this blank. Everything else we can leave the same. Click OK. So the next thing that we're going to need to do is to connect the spreadsheet that we created earlier in the tutorial. To do that, we're going to click on module, and then we're going to click create connection. You can label it whatever you want to. Click sign in with Google, select your account, click allow. You're then going to select your spreadsheet from the spreadsheet dropdown, and you also want to select the correct sheet name, which is just going to be this here down in the lower left hand corner. The rest of these settings are the same, but what this is going to do is it's going to check the email field to see if there's a existing email for that record. If it is found, then it's not going to add it to the spreadsheet. So we can just click OK. And now if we click on the update lead spreadsheet, we can select the connection that we just created, and then you'll be able to select a folder and select your lead spreadsheet. And then you're also going to want to select the sheet name. You may get an error message until you select the sheet name. And then again, for the rest of these settings, we can leave all of these the same. But what this is doing is it is taking the data from the API request, and it is going to insert it in the fields in the spreadsheet. But we've got this all set up. We can click OK. And now we're just going to want to save this automation. Up here in the top, you can rename this automation to whatever you want. I'm going to name it Get Leads Real Estate. Again, I'm going to save it. And then what we can do to test out our automation is we can just click this Run button here in the lower left-hand corner. The first module has completed. It is now making the API request. This may take a few seconds. The API request was made. It was successful. It iterated through the records. We can see that we got 9 records, and 8 of those records were added to the spreadsheet. If we come back over to our lead spreadsheet, we can see this is all automatically been populated. We've got the name, we've got the username, the profile description, the email address. We did not enter in a location, so we don't have that in this column. We've got the profile URL. We've got the number of followers where provided. We've got our email message. We've got our email subject line, the search term we used, the website. Again, location is blank, and then we've got the page of results for these email contacts. So we've got the first part completely set up correctly, and now we're going to move on to creating and sending the email. So to set up our email, we're going to come back out here to scenarios, and we're going to create a separate scenario for sending the emails. So we're going to click on the create a new scenario button, and just like before, we're going to come down here to these 3 dots, and we're going to click import blueprint. And we're going to select the file that we had downloaded before, but it's going to be the email new leads automation. We'll click save. And once again, that has created our email automation for us. Let's go through what is happening in this automation. The automation is going to watch for new records that have been added to our spreadsheet. Once it sees that new records have been added, it's going to go through each email address. There's going to be a delay between the sending of emails. If we click on this, I've got it set to 93 seconds. You can put it whatever you want, but it needs to be a number 1 through 300 as indicated down here. So the first module that we're going to want to set up is the lead spreadsheet. We can click on it. We will have our connection from before. You may want to clear this out if it's populated, and then you can just select the spreadsheet, and then you're going to want to make sure that this sheet name is correct, leads, and then the rest of this information can stay the same. We can click OK. And if you're presented with this message, you can just select all and click OK. And so now let's open up the email module. What we're going to need to do is create a connection. We're using Microsoft 365 or Outlook. Early in the tutorial, we took a look at how to set up a free email address through GoDaddy. Looks like our email address has been set up. One thing that I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to change my password. There's a default password in there when the email is set up. So I'm going to enter in my new password, put in a recovery email address, click change password, and now I can come back over to my automation and I want to click create a connection, and I'm just going to name it the email address, click save, and that's going to allow me to log in to Microsoft Outlook, which because we set this up through GoDaddy, it's going to have me log in through GoDaddy. If you're using Gmail or you're just using Microsoft Outlook that you've already got set up, the process is going to be basically the same. You're just going to be prompted to log in. I'm going to want to make sure I click this consent on behalf of your organization, accept, and we can see that we are now connected to our email account. And again, this automation is going to come pre-configured with a lot of the information that you're going to need. One thing that you are going to want to obviously do is change the from email address to your email address, and you're going to want to change the from name. You're also going to want to change the reply to email address, and you're going to want to change the reply to name. Now let's take a look at the actual email that we're sending out. So the custom message that was generated by AI and the custom subject line, those are going to be dynamically entered into this email address or into the email that we're creating, and those are coming from these two fields right here. But in addition to this, we're going to want a custom message, and what we are doing with these emails is we're reaching out to real estate agents to see if they want to buy a blog that we created. And just as kind of a side note, this is a blog that we created in about an hour with AI post. We've got a full separate tutorial on how to do that, but if you're looking to use this email outreach strategy to generate extra revenue, you can create a AI blog that looks like this in about an hour with posts all automatically generated by AI, which is what we are going to convey in the custom message part of our email. We pre-formatted this. It says, I came across your profile on, and we are going to dynamically insert the website that we found them on. I think the website we are selling would really help increase your follower count, subscribers, and produce additional revenue opportunities. It is a real estate blog that is 100% automated with AI. It would give you unlimited high-quality original content to post to your social media profiles. The website is, and it gives a link to the website. Here's a short video discussing all the features and benefits. It's a short video that we put together discussing the benefits of the website. However, I'm going to get rid of that part of the message for now. And then it says we are selling the site for $500. It is going to go fast, so let me know if you are interested. Congratulations again on all your success. And then it's got our contact information. So I am just going to copy this right here. And these emails that are being sent out, these are HTML format. So this BR enclosed in brackets right here, that is just a line break. 2 BRs is 2 line breaks. 1 is just going to be 1 line break. So down here where the contact information is, that's just going to be 1 line break. One thing that I would recommend is including your physical address. And then if you've got an unsubscribe link, you can do that as well. So I'm going to copy this right here because this is all bracketed dynamic information, just kind of give you an idea where certain things go. I'm just going to paste this custom message that we've got in here. So again, that's going to send out the custom message generated by AI that just talks about them and their social media profile, their following, and it's custom for each individual. It's going to send out a custom subject line for each individual, and then it's going to have whatever products or services you are selling to this individual below that. And then in this email, we're going to dynamically insert some additional information. So where it says, I came across your, and it's got this link right here. For the link, we're going to click, and then we can dynamically insert the profile URL of the individual that we're emailing. I think the website we are selling would really help you increase your follower count. But right here where it says, I came across your profile on, we can dynamically insert the website in which we found the profile on. And again, that information is coming from our spreadsheet right here in this column. And we specified which website we wanted to search in the API call earlier in the tutorial. You can dynamically insert any other information that you want, but that is how you utilize these fields from the spreadsheet in the email or any other part of the automation. The rest of the information down here we already took a look at, so we can just click OK. And then what we're going to want to do is this final module right here, after this email goes out, it's going to update the spreadsheet in this first column right here that says emailed, and it's just going to say yes after this email goes out. So we're going to click on this module. We want to choose our Google Drive connection again. And then for this one, you can just search the spreadsheets. That's going to find the spreadsheet ID. And then the rest of this information, you can just leave the same. It's just searching for a specific row, and then it's updating the value of a cell to yes. So we can click OK, and we're going to rename this automation to real estate agents. Now what we can do is, just like before, we can test this automation by clicking run. It has found the records from the spreadsheet. It is now going to go through this delay. I'm going to pause this during the delay. And so after the delay, it has sent out our email. We can see a success here. And then it has also updated our spreadsheet. We can see a success here. And now we can see that this is running again and the delay is running again. So we sent out one email, it's going to delay, and then it's going to send out the other email. I'm just going to go ahead and stop this by clicking the stop button, and I'm going to come back over to our spreadsheet here, and we can see that it's been updated. There may be a little bit of a delay to when you're going to see this reflected in here, or you may want to just refresh the page, but we see that this has been updated, showing that this individual has been emailed. And if we come back over to account and we click on the sent items, we can see the email that we just sent out with our custom subject line, custom messaging, and then the blog that we are selling. So now that we've created and tested all of our automations, we see that they're running, and what we want to do is go in these on. So down in the lower left-hand corner here, you can schedule these automations. So what I generally do for the email automations is I schedule them to run every 60 minutes. So I'll click OK, click Save, and then I will go ahead and turn this on. And so every 60 minutes, it will look to see if any new records have been added to this spreadsheet here. And one thing that I didn't mention before is in this limit right here, that's how many rows in the spreadsheet that it'll process at one time. You can change this if you want. I like putting it at 10, but we've gone ahead and enabled this automation to run every hour. And then if we come back out to scenarios, we're going to click on our get lead scenario. And this is going to work the same way. You can just click on any module to edit this scenario. And I usually like to run this scenario every 5 hours, every 10 hours. So this is in minutes right here. So if I were to run this every 5 hours, that would just be 300 minutes. I can click on OK, and then I can go ahead and turn this automation on. So every 5 hours, it's going to go out, make an API call, get new leads, iterate through them. It's going to filter out any duplicates. It's then going to add that to our spreadsheet. Now, the one thing that you may want to do throughout the process that would be manual is to change a configuration or two in the API call. So instead of searching real estate agents, you may want to search real estate company. And then the other thing that you may want to change, if you're using a local location, you can change that. And then also changing the network. As we mentioned before, you can use YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter or X, Pinterest, Facebook. And to do that, you just use the capitalized name of the network. So Facebook would be Facebook, YouTube would be YouTube, etc. This will allow you to source leads from different networks, and again, you can also leave this blank if you want to just search the entire web. From my experience, Instagram is definitely the best place to start, but it may depend on what products and services you are selling. We want to make sure that we save the changes, and then every hour this automation is going to look if there's been any new leads added to the spreadsheet, and it's automatically going to send out those emails. So at this point, we have set up a 100% automated lead finder and emailer that you can use for any industry, any products you're selling, any services, and it runs 100% on autopilot. One other thing that I will mention is that you're going to want to take a look at your API key usage. With free accounts on AI Post, you're going to get 250 credits, which should allow you to send out about 1,000 emails. The plans are very low cost. With a paid plan of $25 per month, you should be able to send out about 50,000 emails. And I guarantee you, if you're sending out 50,000 emails, you're going to be making way more than $25 per month, which brings me to the last thing I cover in this tutorial really quickly. If you're looking for a product or service to sell, I highly recommend you watch our video tutorial on how to create a blog using the power of AI. In under 1 hour, I take you step by step through how you can create a blog that looks just like this, with all the content, categories, web design, absolutely everything that, like you saw in this tutorial, you can turn around and sell to businesses for $500, $1,000. It's got all the features a business would want, including review collection and display, as well as an infinite amount of high quality content, long form content that includes images, videos, which will drive traffic, subscribers, and clients to their business. The best way to sell these websites and get top dollar is to build out a blog and send out emails just like I showed you in this tutorial. But if you want to start emailing businesses, asking them if they would like you to build out a blog for them, feel free to use propertyinfo.blog or getreal.fit as an example of the type of business blog you can build out for them. Again, we've got an entire video tutorial on this process, and you can find a link in the description. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you've gotten some use out of it. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions.